I'm here in the middle of the woods with a ground sheet on the floor and a whole bunch of cardboard. Going to build possibly the weirdest shelter I've done yet and stay in it tonight in a whole load of rain. It's going to be an interesting one. I spent a good couple of days researching geodesic domes and what makes them and how you kind of calculate that. I did eventually find a very good website that can calculate for you based on different size inputs. Very helpful. I then had to get the cardboard, so I got double layered corrugated cardboard, a lot of it, and it cost quite a lot of money because it wasn't just recycled boxes. I needed kind of a standard size to go by. I then measured out and cut many panels plus a couple of spares. I also have these fasteners which I believe are actually for cardboard, and they will hold different panels together using flaps that I've made. Now, a lot could go wrong today and a lot could go wrong tonight if everything goes well today, so we'll see. First step is to make up the bigger panels from the smaller panels before making the whole shelter. I've had to make two different types of triangles, some equilateral ones and some isosceles ones like this, where one edge is longer than the other two. Now, as you can see, I've got two panels here because I could make a little progress at home. I was able to make up a few panels of two, and then I can make up my pentagons and then go from there. But I still have to put all these together and add the extra one, obviously. Hopefully you can kind of make this out. I've got two of my panels of two that I've already made, plus an individual one. So I just have to get them flaps turned and get them together. And I think I have 6 pentagons to make and then put together using the equilateral triangles, kind of like a football, I guess. This is going to be incredibly hard to show. I've got a letter opener is for making the holes, and yeah, so I need to put these together. Hopefully they line up. Then punch my hole and use these fasteners which are a bit tricky. Oh, straight away, because I said it was tricky. And one further down. So these fasteners have ridges on the insides which click together. So you have to insert them at opposites. So this one will go that way, and then the bottom one that way. And then you just have to line them up. Oh, look at that. First time again. And I'm just going for one in the middle as well. I'm putting them closer to the crease than the edge to help hold them together. One that way, and one that way. Ah, there we go. Going well. Now, as you can probably see, I'm on that last joint for the pentagon, which is the harder one because it pulls it into the slightly conical shape that's going to eventually make up the dome. You guys are going to know if this works before me because you're going to have seen the thumbnail. Ha! My first panel. Whoop whoop! A few more to go. One problem is the wind gusts. It's quite windy, and I don't want these things that are like big sails to just get cooled off, so I have to stuff them in the trees, which is not what I wanted to do because I didn't want to get them damp or anything before they have their proper weather test and see how the water runs off. I've been waiting for about 2 months to do this video. I spent a couple of days making up these panels before Christmas, and just had not had the right day, a day that's dry during the day and then raining overnight, and I've just not had that perfect day to be able to do that, to be able to build this and test it overnight. Let's get back to it. one more. I've tried my hardest to keep these away from my cat, but they do have some bite marks in a few of them. The wind isn't helping. I just lost a panel to one of the pegs in this ground sheet. Just went flying. What's that? 4 panels, 2 to go. Then the really hard part. This is tricky. A lot of them fasteners just don't want to go. They're not lining up. It's a real pain. And you got to try not to bend the card by leaning on it to get to the middle. And it's going to get harder. This video has made me anxious for a while. Not just getting the right day, but the work I've already done being correct and then being able to actually put it together alone in the bloody wind in the woods. Oh, it's so satisfying when they go together. That one was easy. There we go, 6 panels. Now I'm gonna have to look at the plan, but I think I have to put one triangle on each side of the first hexagon, the equilateral triangles, to join them together. I'll put something on the screen. I have made a model of this at home, which took me a day, to be honest, as well. Before I do that though, while they're in smaller panels, I'm going to do my seam sealing using masking tape. I don't think this is cheating, it's just stopping rain going through the actual seam. It's going to seep through the card at some point. And it should look pretty. That's them all seam sealed. Time to start putting stuff together. I've got a few triangles put on, just 2 more to go here. You can see what I'm kind of going for here with like a pentagram, I guess, for the other panels to join to. This is where it starts being really difficult, fixing all the panels together, because they're quite unwieldy. So, kind of like that. Yeah, I'll do one in the other side. Getting a bit complicated and hard to work on now. So this one goes here, yeah. Looks like a boat or something. I was going to add on all of the pentagons to this, but I've done these 2. And I think I'm going to add in the triangle down there for a bit of structural rigidity before I carry on. No! No, no, no! Oh God, that was something else, trying to get this over and together. I've actually got some clamp clips with me that I've had to use, and yeah, I could not film it. There was no way of filming it. I could not let go of the thing. But more or less there, my doorway, which is tiny, needs to go on and be hinged somehow. But getting there. A bit more of that seam sealing. I was going to mess with the aesthetic, but I think I need to close that hole at least. There's a few other dents as well. It's probably best not to try this in gale force winds as well, really. I mean, this is a lower spot here, so it's not as bad, but the gusts. She looks good, doesn't she? God, there's a gust. Now, a lot of you will know a dome shape like this is great with the wind, as long as it doesn't cut under and lift. So I'm going to put some pegs in the tabs on the inside. I've shuffled it backwards a little bit where it's a bit drier, and I'll move the ground sheet as well, which is the right sort of shape. I mean, this is far from ideal. Welcome to my humble abode. So nice in here out of that wind. Yeah, it's been good to do another cardboard tent. For those of you who don't know, who wasn't around or missed the video, I used a cardboard tent about a year ago, and it was a pre-made one, made for festivals to be disposable, lasts for a couple of days of rain, depending on how heavy. So check that one out, but I really wanted to do my own kind of version, and doing a geodesic dome like this was kind of the only really thing I could go to, except for like a cardboard box fort. This, yeah, is kind of the smallest size I could do, if that makes sense. The doorway is far from ideal. If this was any smaller, the doorway would be tiny. The only other alternative is to take out a whole pentagon or hexagon, which is even bigger. But it'll do for now. You need more structure to have like a frame to be able to take out a whole pentagon as a doorway. But I've put down the ground sheet, moved it all inside. I've got a sheet of cardboard to use as a ground sheet as well. I wasn't intending on using this, but I thought it's already in here, may as well. But yeah, a piece of cardboard, help insulate from the ground as well. Yeah, a few other bits and bobs to do. I'm going to feed my cardboard underneath. Sorry, I knew it was going to be a busy one, so I brought sausage rolls with me. Now, I'm not going to put the door on till later tonight. I run out of them clips. I've got 4 clamps with me that I was using to hold things whilst putting stuff together, and I've got 2 of them left. 2 of them are replacing clips I didn't have, and yeah, I'll use them on the doorway tonight. But yeah, just need to get inside sorted, get some firewood. I think we've got enough time for a fire tonight before the wind brings in the rain. I say, it might be quite hard having a fire. I've got a fire reflector with me. Yeah, might need that, like a bit of a wind guard. These 2 sheets can be like my bed area over here. Over on this side I can put my small table, and much like the last time I did a cardboard tent, I brought my stove and the heater. You've probably seen me use this before. I used it in the last cardboard tent, and well, I won't put it on just now because I'll have to do a brew and stuff first. Might be a good idea to plug this from the inside as well. I think this rain's going to be quite heavy. Why did I put the bed right under there? The good thing in here, wherever I want to mount my lantern, just make a hole. Well, pretty much set up in here just to go do the firewood and that now. You do lose a good couple of inches all the way around with the seams, all these joins, but still pretty roomy in here. It's almost 3 meters across. 1.7 high, I can't remember. If I've got the plans still, I'll put them on the screen. But yeah, it's kind of a tester. I want to do something big and still cardboard, maybe. I'd like to do a wooden geodesic dome, but obviously I can't do that in a bushcrafty way. That has to be very precise. But yeah, I'd like to do a bigger cardboard one. No way I'd do any bigger on my own. No way. This was almost impossible. Well, I need to get some wood. Don't need tons of the stuff because it's laying around, to be honest, with all the storms we've had. Plus, got the rain coming in later. As this ash come down in a recent storm, I'm using it for firewood. These bigger ones I cut first almost look a bit green. I mean, it is ash, so it shouldn't matter too much, but we'll see. Had to sit down for a minute. I'm exhausted. Doing the tent alone took, I don't know, 3.5, nearly 4 hours. I've got plenty of firewood now. Some other bits and bobs laying around as well. And this wind is relentless. It's not nice. Just the noise of it, and when you're up on the higher ground, really hits you. But I'll organise this, pick where I'm going to have my fire pit. I might just sit inside the tent and have a cup of tea on the stove. Just relax for a minute. Oh, that's what's needed. Sit down and a cup of tea. It's very cosy in here. It's nice to get out of that wind. This thing has not budged. The wind just rolls off it. Brilliant. I've got a couple more pegs I might put in before bed. We'll see. But yeah, it's cosy. Just boiling that kettle made it really warm in here. And that's with the door open. Am I worried about the rain in the night? Yes. I was sat here looking through the gaps in some of the panels where you can just see the blue from the masking tape, and yeah, for a whole night of rain, which it seems to be, it's a bit of a worry, but makes it interesting. Will it do better than the bought tent? Just teased up some wood wall, got some kindling and stuff. This is just time to get this lit. Just using a match today because I haven't got that long for doing cooking and stuff. So we'll get some of that on. We'll go with some of the splinters from axing. Well, that's the fire lit, it's going well. It's got enough air being pushed into it. I've got a fire reflector thing, like a canvas one. I'm going to put that up in a minute. But yeah, the wind's quite good to get it taking and get some coals going. Starting to get dark. Not long, half hour or so. And not long after that is when the rain comes. I think between 7 and 8, something like that. So I've got plenty of time to cook, should have, touch wood, touch cardboard. Bought this fire reflector wind shield, whatever you want to call it, quite recently. This is the first time I've put it up. And thing is with this woodland is it's so small and surrounded by fields that the wind can circulate, as you can see. Can be like it's coming from all directions, but it's stopping the majority of it. We'll see if it sets fire. Right, another beer sent to me, courtesy of Buckcombe Brewing Co. They're based in Bristol by the looks of it, and they've sent Adam Henson's Rare Breed Pale Ale. So I should like this one. Give it a little go. If I can open it. Cheers, everyone. Very nice indeed. I'll certainly order that again. Just waiting for a few coals. Getting pretty dark now, and quite a simple but tasty dinner of a Philly cheesesteak. So to begin, I'm going to take this par baked roll, if I can get it out, and I'm going to put this in some foil. Not much work this really. All I've got to do is cut some chunks, don't have to be finely chopped, of onion. That'll probably do. And of a green pepper. I don't know. Maybe you could tell me why it always seems to be green pepper in a Philly cheesesteak. Well, from what I've seen. Not I've ever been to Philadelphia. And I'll just cut some chunks of this as well. I've been feeling a few bits of rain here and there. Should have just brought a roll that was ready to roll. So I've expedited that, taken it out of the foil, put it closer to the fire, probably will burn it, but I need to fry this stuff off. But I've still got a few minutes, so I'll have another rare breed. Put some oil in a pan, I'll put in some onion, and green pepper. Should probably be enough, shouldn't it? Yeah. The beef I've got is ribeye steak, and I've cut it very thin when it was partially frozen. Come on, that one bit at the bottom. So these are very, very thin. Throw in some seasoning. Dude, it's getting hotter. I have to go onto the coals. Yeah, that'll do it. The juices off of the vegetables, stopping the steak from frying properly. Woo. If you can hear me over the wind, I've just melted some Emmental over this. Nice melted cheese. Ooh. Swear that wind's picking up, not dying down. Yeah, so it's my Philly cheesesteak. Looks pretty good to me. Guess the oh god, there we go. I mean, how can you go wrong really, but I think I understand the green peppers. Before I get in, I just wanted to have a little look around because I heard something hit this that fell out the tree. Might be that dent there. I just wanted to check there wasn't a big gaping hole. Maybe something there. Dent there. Aha. I think we'll survive. Whew. Can't believe how easy it is to get in and out of. I'm in for the night now, although I'm going to need to pee. Got the door here, which is another equilateral triangle. I'll just stuff it in the hole. Yeah, it's already nice in here. Out of the wind, it's just lovely. Got the heater thing if I want to put it on in a little bit, but right now, quite comfortable. It is raining outside, it's very fine, sort of misty rain at the moment. But yeah, it's not quite time for it to start properly. Time to get it warmed up in here. Got the heater on the stove. And to be honest, it's going to take seconds to warm up in here, and it should retain that heat quite well. I've plugged the door, sort of temporary measure. It's raining enough that I can hear it on the cardboard now, which has just reminded me how noisy it gets when it's raining hard. It was like being inside a drum last time. I completely forgot about that. It's coming down now. Must admit it's a little bit of a drum in here, but it is cosy. You might be able to hear that. Quite light, but it has begun. Well, I've been in here, I don't know, close to an hour now. I've actually got into my thermals because it's a bit more comfy. Plus I've got the heater on still, which is on very, very low but doing very, very nicely. In fact, I think I might have a hot chocolate. You can still hear the wind out there. The rain is on and off. I can hear it very lightly at the moment. It's been heavier, but yeah, it will get heavier the later it gets. This worked before, should work again. Probably need to turn it up a bit. Oh, nice. Ooh, perfect. It's lovely in here. I actually do like cardboard tents. I know they're not very permanent. You can put them under a, what am I talking about? They're not practical at all, but they're nice to be in. They're so insulating. Like that wind noise is howling out there, but it's not so bad in here. Obviously you can hear the rain. I'm assuming you can hear the rain at the moment. Getting heavier. It will continue to get heavier, and I will continue keeping an eye on all these seams. It's about to go to bed. It's getting late, and I thought I'd do a bit of a seam check, and there is 2 spots where very small amount of seepage. So I've just stuffed a tissue in there and put the masking tape over it, and well, I'll just keep an eye on it, I guess. I was just laying here thinking I might go to bed, as them other leaks were barely leaking at all and not really bothering me. And then as I was laying here, I looked up. You may be able to see some moist marks along the seams, and that is concerning. It's over here as well. I don't think I'm going to make it through the night. You can probably see behind me, but there's buckles, leaks, drips, and all sorts of unseen things, seepages. It's, I don't know what it is, 1 in the morning, something like that. I've not gone to sleep. I've just pulled some stuff out of here. I can see it buckling down there. Yeah, it turns out having lots of seams in a cardboard tent is not a good thing. Having one continuous piece over the top of you is. Yeah, I wanted to do it, I wanted to try it. Obviously there is things I could have done to this to waterproof it, but that was not the point in my exercise. Basically it didn't work. But I've had a lot of fun building a geodesic dome, and I want to do another one. Maybe not cardboard. I just saw it buckle there. Oh, I need to get my stuff out of here and walk it back to the truck. She's not doing too well, is she? Oh, it's so soft. You could just poke your finger through. Oh, wow. Well, I guess I'm going to have to go sleep in the truck. I haven't got the ladder or anything for the roof tent, so it's going to have to be just in the driver's seat. Fun and games. Good morning, guys. That was a relaxing evening. It's first light here in the woods, and well, you want to see it, don't you? Days of planning, days of making, hours of construction. Didn't really work, did it? Well, as much of a disaster as that kind of turned out to be, I'm glad I did it. You don't know things till you try them. I'm sure a lot of people are saying I knew exactly what was going to happen. I think maybe that cardboard tent gave me a false sense of security to a degree. But yeah, back to the drawing board. I would like to do another cardboard tent, but I'd like it to be different to the design of that one. And it's hard without having joins. I could put on some kind of waterproofing coating. I could, you know, seam the sills kind of properly, maybe use gaffer tape or something. There's lots of different things to do, but at what point does it not become a cardboard tent? I thought that design would shed the water quite quickly, so it'd not absorb it. Clearly it didn't, because even the faces were starting to collapse. It wasn't just getting in the seams. Oh well. I do want to revisit it though. I do want to do another one. And I do want to do another geodesic dome. They do become quite complicated when you're doing a frame and panels as well. So yeah, I'll have a think about that. I'm not sure what I'm going to do. If I'm going to have some breakfast before I go home. It is still raining a bit. I'll pack this away and decide what to do, because I've got that breakfast stuff with me. Oh, look at that. I had just enough bin bags. It's like I knew. Even if I was in it till morning, that's a dry spot. Well, as much as I am hungry, it's been kind of a long night, and I think I'm going to go home. I'll save that breakfast for another video. Not do it half-heartedly, because, you know, it takes a bit of prep and that. And yeah, let me know what you think below. Hey, it's not a failure if you had fun and you tried something. I'll see you guys next time. If you haven't seen it before, check out the cardboard tent video. I'll put it up on the screen now. Goodbye for now.